Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your review show. I'm your host Khalid Mohidin, and this is the show where we talk about everything that has to do with South Africa versus Pakistan, the Test series. This is day three, the end of day three, and I'm sitting here having gone through a roller coaster of emotions on this day. I think that is basically what everybody expects when it comes to South Africa. When you support South Africa, that is just comes with the territory, and I think everybody knows that's what you get when you support the Proteas. So hopefully, this game can be turned around a bit. I feel it's set up for someone like Quinton. It's set up for someone like Timba to shut out their critics and say, "Look here, I am here to stay, and I'm here to belong and to show what I'm capable of doing." We'll have to wait and see what they do. Now, we have a jam-packed show for you today. I also want to talk to you a little bit about, and to the panelists about KG's press conference. Just one particular thing. I just want to play you a little clip from KG about the 200 wickets, and just to show what type of champion mentality he has. But other than that, let's get into the show, and let's start talking about South Africa versus Pakistan. But as you know, before I get going, you know what to do. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Click that notification bell for all future videos. Now, we also have the super chat is open, so you guys can get involved with the super chat. You just have to click on the bottom right-hand corner, I think, of the live chat, and you can get your comments highlighted. That way, I'm forced to read out your comments, especially your rants. So I want you guys to come out here and say what you feel about South Africa, and I want you to say what you felt about this day. But do it in the super chat so I can put it on the screen instead of just putting it in the regular live chat. Maybe you'll get lucky and I read your live chat and I'll put it up on the screen to talk about it. But most likely that won't happen because we're probably going to be talking about a hell of a lot that's been going on in the series. Don't also forget to click on the link in the description to become a patron, so you can join this journey. So without further ado, let's bring on the guests of the show. Let's bring on Cricket Connoisseur and Mpom. Welcome to the show, brothers, both of you. I'm very excited to talk to you and a little bit depressed about today. There was a lot of there was a lot of positives from the game. I would like to say that let's just start with the positives first before we go into the negatives. I think that South Africa showed an amazing fight and improvement based on what they did in the first test, of course, and in other tests that we played in the subcontinent. I think when Algar and Markram were on 44, they said that was the highest opening stand in, I think, over 19 innings by the Proteas opening pair in subcontinent conditions. So that was crazy that they've improved on that a little bit. I've personally thought that if Algar was injured, that he should have retired injured rather than fight to go play, but that's not his character. Algar's the type of guy that's going to go back out there and prove his worth and fight through it, and I respect him for that. It did come out later that he's went for scans, and luckily there's nothing crazy about the scans. It's just a bit of a bump, so there's no major fracture or anything. So luckily that's good for us from that point of view. But let's just start with the positives, because this day started with a special milestone for special guy, Kagiso Rabada. Now, I just want to talk to you about KG. I'm going to play KG's clip for you guys if you haven't watched the press conference yet, because we've only uploaded the press conference about 20 minutes ago. So I don't think a lot of you guys would have watched that. You would have come over here and obviously come to watch us. So I'm going to play you a little clip with regards to KG Rabada and what he had to say about taking his 200 wickets. He's obviously in an amazing group with a lot of amazing cricketers. Now, there's a couple of milestones that he's ticked off, of course. We know that he's taken his 200 wickets and at quite an alarming speed as well. I think that being as young as he is, to become part of that group of players is quite incredible. So I'm just going to read out to you quickly, because I'm not going to remember every single one of them offhand, guys. So I'm just going to read out to you the major milestones that he's reached. So he's the fourth youngest to reach the milestone of 200 wickets and the youngest South African to reach the milestone. He's the third fastest by deliveries. So that's beating, obviously, Waka Yunus. Waka Yunus is first. Sorry, I'm lying. He didn't beat Waka Yunus. Waka Yunus is first with 7,730 balls. Dale Steyn is second with 7,848 balls. And then Kagiso Rabada with 8,154 balls. He's also the third fastest South African to the milestone in general. So it's quite a phenomenal feat by him. And the journalist, obviously, actually Ken Boland asked him this question in the press conference. Obviously, you guys are familiar, especially Paul, also familiar with Ken. Asked him the question about how he feels about this. So what I'm going to do quickly is try to play this for you, just to play that clip for you so that you can hear what KG had to say about his 200 wickets.
Yeah, no, it's a massive feat to be included in a list of such names, And when you start playing, you don't wish, or you don't ever think that you would, be on such a list and have such statistics. All you want to do is be the best that you can, and so I'm really glad. It is satisfying. It's a great milestone, but the show goes on.
So, Mpo, I know that you only have a couple of minutes to talk to us. You don't have much to talk to us. So let's start with you. Your thoughts on KG reaching that milestone, of course, and his performance over this test is not, I think, something that needs to be spoken about as well, I feel.
Yeah, look, I think I'm happy that he's reached it. It's been over a year since he's been on like 197. And I think, yes, as he says, the show must go on because the show must go on. It sucks for him to get to his 200th wicket with his team in a situation like this. And I think it does speak to his leadership in terms of the fact that, yes, we can celebrate, but we mustn't dwell on it because, yes, I'm getting personal milestones, but the team's losing. Essentially, the team's in a spot of bother, and it's not great to be getting those milestones when the team is actually not in a great spot right now. Well, they could be in a better spot tomorrow by lunchtime or even tea, but for now, you need to wait until the game is done for you to be able to celebrate the 200. But great achievement nonetheless, and it shows how great he is, and it shows how how important it is to get the game to everybody. In as much as we're going to go back and talk about it, but KG has done a great job, and he's been helped along the way. Yes, he went to a great school, but he was seen early. He was given the opportunities, and now 200 wickets, which is really, really awesome.
Yeah, and Aaron, obviously from an outsider, what do you think about that? Obviously compared to some of your young bowlers that you have as well.
If you're referring to Mr. Oliver Stone, okay, he'll get more wickets in the future. But no, with regards to KG,
Oliver Pibble.
Stone, Boulder. But no, honestly, I've got nothing bad to say about Kagiso Rabada. He's one of my absolute favourite bowlers in the world right now. He's in my top three alongside Pat Cummins and Jasprit Bumrah. The guy's just an absolute superstar. And I'm genuinely running out of words or superlatives to describe him. He's absolutely electrifying. He has pace, he has control, he has consistency. He swings the ball both ways, he can reverse swing it. The guy is borderline unstoppable when he's on song. And he is such an incredible X-Factor option for South Africa to actually possess in world cricket right now. So for me, brilliant. I'm so happy for him. I'm a massive, massive fan of Kagiso Rabada and his game. And you listed the names there. Waqar Younis, who was an absolute just phenomenon for Pakistan in the 1990s. To be up there with him, Dale Steyn, Kapil Dev as well, who was an excellent all-rounder for India in the 80s. It's extraordinary, isn't it? It really is extraordinary. We are basking in the greatness of a real modern legend. And I feel like we'll be talking about Kagiso for so many more years to come. And it's hilarious that you played that interview, Carly, because I thought you were actually going to mention the one he did straight after the game. And there was such a funny moment in that. I can't remember who was interviewing him. But they said, what was the celebration about when he did the point up to the sky? Was it because of the milestone were you thinking about in the moment? And he said, no. He said he's just grateful because he didn't take a wicket yesterday. I just love that attitude. I love his attitude. I just can't get enough of watching Rabada. And yeah, hopefully 200, it's nowhere near the end of his career tally. Fingers crossed, 400 plus. But yeah, KG, cannot wait to see what he can do in the future.
Yep. And as Queen would say, the show must go on. So let's go on with this and let's continue this.
Oh.
Let's continue this conversation. So, of course, we have to also mention some of the Pakistan bowlers. Obviously, Yashir Shah
Mhm.
at the end of that flippant. Oh, I was so upset. I wish you were here for this particular match to watch this with me because you could have this consoled me a bit because I was very upset to see Markram fight the way he did for over 200 balls, get that 74. I mean, Rassie van der Dussen played excellently. I thought that was amazing from his part. And then to lose your wicket like that was just, it was good bowling as well. I mean, I think that I'm not going to criticize Markram at all because he did the right thing by going forward. Maybe I saw some people criticizing him on Twitter and saying maybe that and on Facebook as well, that maybe they need to attack the ball a little more once they were in. And, people are going to say that there's always one thing or the other thing that someone does wrong. When they were so good throughout the game, I think he deserved a century in this match. And if anybody did, he did. It was so unfortunate that the ball just bounced up like that on him. And obviously, he did the right thing to step to the ball. But to lose 3 wickets like that, who I can criticize is Faf du Plessis. And that's someone that I want to criticize for this particular game because I think that going on the back foot, he should have learned from the rest. Both Rassie, both Aiden showed that you shouldn't go on the back foot against the spin. And I think that's one minor, if I'm going to be critical, it's a minor criticism.
So I know Dan wanted him to come forward to the ball. But so let's talk. It was a leg spinning masterclass from Yasir Shah. He is their X Factor player throughout the 5 years. I don't understand why they keep dropping him here and there. He is their guy. He makes flat pitches look alive. Natural variation of a leg spinner, always exciting. There's always someone around the bat. He keeps his fielders in. And we're actually making a joke on commentary that Silly Madoff wasn't doing much. What was he doing there? Because he wasn't even stopping runs. And I was like, he's not there to stop runs. He's there to catch balls. And Abid Ali did an incredible job. But if you look at Rassie's wicket to Yasir Shah, that was great. Bringing Abid Ali in, it hit him low on the bat. Great edge there and catch. There's nothing that Rassie could do. You want everyone to play forward. Aiden Markram's one to Nauman Ali was just from the fact that that was the one ball in Nauman Ali's spell in that session that actually got extra bounce. It hit him high on the bat. He came forward. If it hit him on the middle of the bat, it would have been just down the wicket, and Aiden would still be batting. But hit him high on the bat, got the edge, and that those ones because he wasn't even turning the ball, he wasn't getting the ball to turn straight, but it just happened. They got comfortable as you see as their innings went on, and that's what you want. I don't want guys to be uber aggressive to spin like we were in the first innings. You need to respect the bowlers. And Nauman Ali, even though he's a debutant, he's 34 years old. He's been playing for years. You need to respect him. He's playing in his home conditions. Faf's one, I felt kind of sorry for him. He got put in a trap. In that over, he got lots of leg breaks, everything, and there was an edge that was dropped. There was another edge that went in between Silly Madoff and Slip. They were drawing Faf forward. The one when he got the top spinner, Faf thought he could play back. He thought, because we saw throughout the day that there was some inconsistent bounce. The top spinner was the one that doesn't bounce as much. He thought it was a googly and he played back to it, which is what you would normally do. Because if you come forward to a googly, you bring in that leg, that short leg. So I kind of felt that Faf was stuck. And that's what wicket does. It bringing somebody in. There's lots of batters around, and Pakistan are on point, and that's what happens. To a certain extent, I don't blame him. I think it's one of those where the bowler did quite well. And those 3 wickets we lost at the end of the day, it was just all the bowlers. The bowlers actually stepped up. They took the game away from South Africa rather than South Africa giving them the game. And that's something that I was proud of from the batting performance today, was that they applied themselves, they took time, they were patient, and they did not give their wickets away easily. And that's something that they can take away to the next track. And you can learn from these things. I can see the South Africans have learned that if it's outside the off stump and it's not turning into you, you don't have to play it. If it has a tendency to turn onto you with an arm ball, you kind of have to try smother it and come forward. If it's too wide, that's when you come in, you play it off the back foot. So you can see that there are plans and they're thinking about how it's going as they go. And so that's an improvement to the Aiden Markram that everyone thought couldn't play spin. I obviously, I want him to prove himself before we just start putting this thing on him. And today is a massive step in the right direction for him to prove all his included all his doubts wrong, and to also back it up, because that's what we want. We wanted him to back it up. He backed it up today. He didn't get the 100, but it's good enough to get South Africa the foundation. He can say that I got you guys I got the deficit down. He did his job. Yes, he wanted him to do more and Rassie to do more, but now it's up to Quinton Timber, Keshav, George Linda to get at least 200, 250, and hopefully we can get something to bowl at them. And try win this game.
Yeah, so I got a little song for you that my friend and I kind of put together. It's based off Man United, obviously. So it's based off a Man United jingle. So this is for you, Mr. Mpo. So it's Aiden Markram. He plays on grass. The critic said he had no chance. 50 runs, came in pain. Aiden Markram scores again. So that's for the guys that know out there. There's a little jingle.
Aiden needs to get a century.
I was hoping to create it for the century, but unfortunately, I'll have to change it to 50 now.
Yes. And before can we answer Werner's question?
Yes, we're going to do that right now. I was just about to shout out to Werner. Thank you for the super chat, Werner. Guys, if you want to get involved, get some super chats over here. Question to the panel before Mpo goes. Hands up to all who would have believed that Rassie on the strike rate of 42 would have scored a quicker rate than Markram at the strike rate of 33 in a partnership of 100 plus. Hands down for me. I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought that Aiden...
up.
Of course, it's hands up from
No, it's not because I don't like. It's not because I'm an Aiden. Everyone thinks I'm an Aiden. I'm not. But I think Rassie is a much better skilled batsman. He's been doing this for years. Been doing this for over 10 years in domestic cricket. He starts slowly. He's more like Aiden's a talent. Aiden plays off of instinct. Rassie plays off of knowledge. So he likes to see what the conditions are. He'll start slowly, but then he improves. And you saw that towards the back end of that partnership, they got comfortable. It got easy. And they got tired. The bowlers got tired, and that's Rassie's game. And the question I was obviously asking on commentary was, is 3 the right position for Rassie? I say yes. Many people say no because they want a much quicker strike rate. But I think Rassie is the perfect guy I want at first drop because of the tendency of South Africa to lose an early wicket.
And I think that when Faf leaves, maybe he can drop to 4. Maybe, unless we find another number 4. Unless we find another number 4.
He bats in the top 4 for the Lions. I'd say if Faf goes, you push Quinton up to 4. You ask Quinton to rediscover the form that got him into the Proteas side back when he was younger, and batted for. He's the most talented batsman we have.
I just want to hear Lions guys say it, man.
No, but look, I watched guys. If you saw Quinton in high school, oh my word.
Yeah, of course. I know. No, man, Quinton. I wanted Quinton at 4 for a long time, but obviously for a very obvious reason. Listen, here, Alan.
Sure.
Alan, your thoughts on that?
Guys, I've got to jump. So thank you very much. Tomorrow's going to be a tough one. Cheers.
Yeah, bro. Thank you.
See you in Pope.
So, Alan, from your perspective, I would like to know what you think about that comment. Obviously, I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought that Aiden was going to. What we saw in the second session, at the beginning of the second session, I thought that was a good reading of the pitch and the conditions to take the attack to them. Mm-hmm. I think that if they continued in that vein, maybe until the end of the day, I think maybe they would have survived until the end of the day because there would have been a little bit more pressure on the Pakistan bowlers. But I can't fault them for going for what worked for the entire day. That I can't fault them on. I think they should get the credit for their batting, for the way they batted. It's now up to the guys. It's now up to the guys that we feel need to put up their hand now and need to show their quality. I'm talking specifically about Quinton and Themba Bavuma.
Yeah, I thought you might be there, Khalid. I took the hint. But with regards to Aiden Markram, just a fun fact for all the viewers out there as well, that was his slowest ever test half century, 50 came from 158 deliveries.
Yeah.
So it showed a lot of resilience, a lot of character, a lot of grit. I was really impressed, to be honest. And with regards to his dismissal, it was, I mean, as Post said, it was just natural variation, wasn't it? It was the one that reared up off the surface. Couldn't really do anything about it. It's a sharp take at Silly Madon, so I didn't really have any issue with that. But with regards to that partnership between him and Rassie, that is something that South Africa have been absolutely crying out for so many years now. And it is just resilience. It's fortitude. That's what it is. It's looking at the conditions. I think they actually learned from looking at the likes of Azhar Ali and Fawad Alam. And they've actually realised now, in particular those two, that if you dig in for the start of the day, scoring gets a lot easier. That's how it is on Asian wickets. And we've seen that throughout this test match. Just look at the run rate in the morning compared to the evening session. It's massive. There's a huge difference. So with regards to those two today, I was really, really impressed. Of course, it's a shame that both got out towards the end of the day. Of course, as puts South Africa on the back foot, you're basically 29 for 4. It's like Pakistan on day one. But in terms of their actual approach, in terms of the execution of that partnership, I was actually very, very impressed.
It might be actually set up perfectly with Gwinder now, I think. Maybe on this, hopefully day 4 is going to be a flat track and they're not going to get much spin on it.
Well, that's what you're hoping for.
And that's what I'm hoping for.
Fans, maybe not.
Pakistan fans, not so much. Yeah, you're right. But that's what I'm hoping for. And I hope that Temba can just play an anchor role. You know, let Quinton play at the other end. I mean, obviously, Keshav's still there now. Maybe Keshav gets another 50. Possible. Keshav's not a bad batsman. You come here with your nonsense. But seriously, like I hope that that we can see some runs scored by Quinton, man, because I think he needs it. As a captain, as the pressure that's on him, I think this is the perfect such scenario because he comes in at these times and he can perform. And I think that Temba Bavuma is in a situation right now where he's brought into this attack or brought into this batting lineup to do for these type of situations when there's a couple of wickets that's fallen and then he needs to basically revive the innings. I hope that he can do the same that he did in India when we was with Tianis de Brain, where they put on an amazing partnership. Hopefully him and Quinny can do this time around. I really hope so. And Linda as well. Maybe this is opportunity. I think South African fans are a little bit scared because our premium experienced batsmen are gone, man. So obviously any team feels a bit scared when that happens. Pakistan, maybe some Pakistan fans would have thought that too when they lost those 4 wickets. But obviously your guy putting up his hand and scoring a massive century. Hopefully Quinny can do that. A captain's knock is needed over here. I think personally, what do you think is a good score? I would say 250, 275 maybe going into the last day.
100%, because this is Karachi, and we've seen it throughout the Qaider Azam Trophy. Heading into late day 4, day 5, there is quite a bit of deterioration. It's going to become a bit like a minefield for the spinners. There's going to be quite a bit of rough. It's going to be pretty difficult to score free-flowing runs on that surface. So 100%, I think anything maybe over 240, I think that'd be competitive in terms of a target for Pakistan. And then for Pakistan themselves, I think they'll be looking to restrict South Africa to around the maybe 180, 200 mark. I think that'd make for a pretty close and tight contest in this first test.
So yeah, I think that's a good way to end this review show where we both gave up points, and I'm really happy from both sides. I'm so glad for KG Rabada. Well done to you, KG. Please come on the show sometime. We would like to chat to you at some point and interview you. Yeah. So if you're watching, please, or if any of his friends are watching, please let him know. But I just want to let you guys know as well that we have a show at 7 o'clock. It's the Offside Maiden Show, the all-women's podcast. Please support them with Super Chats, guys, so that we can get better guests on the show and we can improve them as well and get some extra things for them as well. So please get in the Super Chats, ask them some questions. I'll be in the back end producing the show. So I'll put your comments on the back. That's what I've been doing, basically. So I might not be on the screen, but I'm still working for you guys. I just letting you know. So help contribute to us as well with the Patreon. At the bottom, become a patron today. The link is in the description. That way you can get so much exclusive content for you directly to you guys. You have instant communication with us obviously in the Discord chat, whatever it's called, app. So you'll be able to chat to us directly as well. We'll also maybe down the line, if you guys, if enough of you sign up, you'll probably do some merchandise for you down the line. Maybe create some merchandise. That will be an awesome thing. Some caps, maybe some t-shirts, maybe. But we need a lot more Patreons before we can start doing that. So please, guys, support us in that as well. Don't forget to obviously do the norms. Obviously, like, comment, share, subscribe. Click that notification bell for all future videos, of course. And don't forget to also subscribe to our magazine. We're really growing there as well. The link is on the screen and in the description. We have an awesome edition coming for you very soon. If you want updates on the matches, cricketfanaticsmag.com is where you'll get that. We have session reports for every single day to keep you guys updated. We also have review shows as well. The review of the reaction piece. Before I forget, Flip, I can't believe I forgot about this. Aditya actually messaged me to ask me specifically to read you guys some points of his. So I'm going to read them out to you quickly. Aaron, I want your points on it. I want your thoughts process. So before you guys tune out, because he's doing all the hard work for us, let me say his points. Number one, he said, although all 4 wickets went to spin today, the Proteas showed significant importance. Getting out to spin isn't always an indication. Oh, wait, why is it jumping? My phone is whack. Getting out to spin isn't always an indication of a massive technical problem. We don't say players have a problem with pace if they nick off to the keeper or the slips. Interesting point. He also said the night watchman should have been sent after Rassie's dismissal. Faf had been waiting to bat all day. His concentration levels were bound to drop towards the end of the day. That's an interesting point, because you're sitting there obviously in the dugout waiting for an opportunity to come. You're not sure if you're gonna go on the field or not. Might have your helmet on, might not. So that might have been an interesting point. We've got someone here saying Faf's career is over. I think Faf needs to just push until we find a replacement. Until that replacement gets into the side. What's your thought on those points before we say bye to the fans?
So I'll start with the night watchman point. I think that actually could be quite valid. I do quite agree with that, because it's a fantastic point with regards to the concentration levels. And when you got a guy like Maharaj, you mentioned it earlier, Khalid, the guy is more than competent at batting. He's not a tail ender, for example. He can actually bat. He's got a solid defence. So potentially that's something that in hindsight, South Africa could indeed employ in the future. And then with regards to Aditya's first point, again, I think that's absolutely fine. Because with regards to spin, when you look at those dismissals today, with exception to Faf's, I think Faf's one he'll be a bit disappointed with. But with regards to the Van der Dussen one, the Markram ones, I don't think it's anything technical. I just think it was fantastic bowling from Yasir Shah to get rid of Van der Dussen. Sharp catch at silly mid-off, courtesy of Abid Ali. And then again, we mentioned with regards to Markram's dismissal, there's just a bit of natural variation, bit of bounce off the pitch. So all in all, I think that the Proteas, I know it's a bit disappointing to be where they are. They're now only, pretty much 29 for 4 heading into day 4. But I think in terms of the character, the grit, the determination that they showed, I think they can actually come away with that feeling not necessarily positive, but feeling, I don't know, almost a bit better about themselves.
So I see Vinay Rasmus saying he's not convinced that Maharaj would have been able to make it to the end of the day, and Faf would have been at the crease today in any case. But I think that Anrich, Callis, Nokia would have been able to. But anyway. Thanks a lot for tuning in, everybody. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, as I said earlier. If you guys have a business and you're looking to make sales online, even if your business is offline, you can go to the link in our description. We also have a free tutorial on the channel. You guys can now obviously tell all small businesses that you know that you can promote your brands with Cricket Fanatics magazine and help us out to be able to promote your brands in content, so that we can obviously boost different contents and etc. And we can grow our channel a lot faster if you guys help us out in that way. Also, if you help us out with Patreon, we can also do the same. We can also grow our channel a lot faster, and we'll obviously get more exposure for everybody that comes on the channel. Thanks so much, Cricket Connoisseur Aaron, for coming on the show. Go follow him, guys. He's obviously, his tag is at the bottom over there. Amazing content that he produces. I love your opinion, so keep it up, and I hope that you stay with Cricket Fanatics magazine for a long time, because I really enjoy our friendship, and I really enjoy how it's growing and how you're helping us grow. So thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow with another review show. Stay safe, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow.